I was in the kitchen, half awake, making coffee like I did every morning. The smell of roasted beans filled the room when I heard her footsteps, soft but deliberate. Cindy walked in, holding her duffel bag in one hand and her weekend suitcase. In the other, the same suitcase she usually packed when we visited her parents. Her face was calm, not sad, not angry, just ... composed. "I think I need a break," she said, her voice steady. She stood a few feet away, as if the kitchen tiles. Between us were a no-go zone. She wasn't sure she could cross. I asked, "From what?" But deep down, I already knew. She looked me in the eyes and said, "From us? From the marriage? I just need time. A few weeks. Not forever." I studied her face. No tears, no shaking voice. Just the kind of delivery you give when you've rehearsed. Something alone too many times. She'd practiced this moment. Maybe not the exact words, but definitely the tone, the exit strategy, the silence afterward. I didn't resist. Didn't ask her to stay. Didn't plead. Just took a breath and stepped aside. "Okay," I said. She blinked. Almost like that wasn't the answer she expected. Maybe she was bracing for a dramatic outburst or some Hail Mary monologue about love and change. But the truth is, I had already felt her slipping away for weeks. She was physically there, sure, but only halfway. Her body sat at the dinner table, but her mind and spirit were somewhere else entirely. Most nights, her silence felt louder than sirens. She walked to the door. No hugs, no apologies, just "I'll be in touch," thrown casually over her shoulder. Then she was gone. The click of the front door behind her echoed like punctuation. Stood there for a long time, not thinking, just ... standing. That was Saturday. By Sunday, the house felt twice as quiet. Not sad, not unbearable, just unoccupied. Like someone had taken the soul out of the place but left the furniture. The first week went by in muscle memory. Wake up at 6:15, gym. Shower, emails. Life on autopilot. I didn't move her slippers from beside the bed. Not because I was pretending she hadn't left. I just didn't feel like rearranging the evidence yet. I needed to see what my life looked like without her in it before I started editing it. And weirdly, it wasn't devastating. The silence wasn't the storm I thought it would be. It didn't press down on my chest. Just ... existed. A void, sure, but not a painful one. Jonathan, my younger brother, came by on Wednesday night. He showed up with pizza and beers like we were 21 again. "You good?" he asked, glancing around the living room like it might answer for me. "I'm all right," I said. We didn't talk much more about it, just watched the game and cracked a few old jokes. It was enough. The next morning, I noticed something. Her favorite mug, the red one with the chipped handle, wasn't on the drying rack anymore. She took it. That told me more than any of her words did. Because you don't pack your favorite coffee mug when you're planning to come back in a few weeks. That's the kind of item you grab when you're not sure you ever will. By Friday, I stayed late at work. Came home to a clean house and reheated leftovers. Watched a movie she hated. Slept like a log. Still no emotional collapse. No bathroom floor breakdown. Just space. The kind she asked for, but also the kind I didn't know I needed. On the 12th night, I poured myself a drink and queued up a documentary about wildlife migration, slow-paced. Quiet, the type of thing Cindy used to say made her feel weirdly sad. My phone rang at 11:40. P.M. Her name lit up the screen. She hadn't called once since walking out. I let it ring twice before answering. "Hey," she said, voice softer than usual. Not shaky, just slower, like wine had blurred the edges. "Hey," I said. "I wasn't sure if I should call," she added. "It's late." I didn't respond, just waited. I remembered that documentary, the one about Arctic wolves. The alpha pair that mates for life? You told me that once. I stayed quiet. "Are you calling to talk about wolves, Cindy?" There was a pause, then a sharp exhale. "No, ... I don't know. I've just been thinking about us. The quiet here feels different than the quiet at home. Yours feels more intentional. Then the question, do you miss me?" That was the real reason for the call. That one question buried under small talk. I took a breath. I don't know yet. Silence again. Okay? She whispered. I could hear faint music in the background, one of her old playlists. She always played them when she got sentimental. You don't have to be cold, Martin, she said. I'm not being cold, I replied. I'm being clear. She didn't say goodbye. I just hung up. I stared at the screen. Then I scrolled to her name in my contacts and deleted it. Not out of spite, but because I was done making room for someone who only ever treated our life together like a trial subscription. On Monday, Eva from work caught me in the elevator. Sharp, blunt, the kind of woman who doesn't waste words. I saw Cindy this weekend, she said. Where? Riverfield Music Hall, Friday night. She likes that place. She wasn't alone, Ava added, watching my face. Guy. In a gray jacket, tall, glasses, they looked ... close, arms touching, sharing a drink. She leaned into him during the set, smiling. You know the look? I nodded slowly. Thanks for telling me. You okay? I'm fine, and I was. Rage. No meltdown. Just a quiet understanding that whatever I thought we were holding on to, she had already let go. That night I pulled out our wedding album, flipped through it, page by page, and slid it into a storage bin in the hallway closet. Not in anger. Just reality. Photos didn't match the present anymore. I opened her side of the dresser, found a scarf, a perfume bottle, one of her hoodies. I packed them all into a small cardboard box, sealed it with tape, and dropped it in the garage. No note, no drama, just closure. She'd asked for space. She used it not to heal, but to explore something else. Someone else the next morning, I drove downtown and filed for divorce. No second guessing, no revenge. Just a decision that felt long overdue. 3 weeks to the day since she left, the doorbell rang. I'd just come back from a run, opened the door, and there she was. Hair pulled back, hoodie on, no makeup. It was her posture that hit me, like she didn't know if she was returning home or trespassing. Can we talk? She asked. I didn't move, just let the moment sit there. Then I stepped aside. She walked in like she was stepping into a dream. She wasn't sure she belonged in anymore. Her eyes scanned the living room. Everything was exactly as she'd left it except for herself. I've been doing a lot of thinking, she said. I waited these last 3 weeks. I thought I needed space to figure things out. But being out there, I realized I took what we had for granted. Still, I said nothing. I miss the way you made me feel safe. I miss our routine, even the little fights. I miss you. I made a mistake. I want to come home. I nodded, walked into the hallway, returned with the box of her things, set it down between us. She looked at it, then at me. What is this? Your stuff, I said gently, from the dresser bathroom drawer. Her head shook slightly like she was trying to rewind the moment. Wait, what? Are you saying you asked for a break? This is what the break gave me. She took a step forward. Martin, please take this, I said. Grab your things and go, her voice cracked. I didn't think you'd stop loving me this fast. I didn't, I replied. I just stopped waiting to matter. She choked back tears. I was confused. Everything felt stuck. So, instead of talking to me, you filled the silence with someone else. Her eyes widened. Eva told me Riverfield, Friday night. She swallowed hard. It wasn't what you think. He's gone. It didn't mean anything. And now, back. I never stopped loving you, she whispered. I looked at her, calm. Not cruel. Just honest. You missed the safety, the routine. You didn't miss me. She didn't deny it. Couldn't. I was building a life, I said. I didn't know you were only visiting it. We can fix it. No. I said, you don't get to break it, try something else, and then call this home again. I never meant to hurt you. But you still did, and intent doesn't erase damage. She reached for me. I stepped back. This house was ours. Now it's mine again. And the peace in it, that's not yours to take. She stared at the box. Finally, she picked it up and left no begging. No last-second plea. Just the realization that her break had cost her everything. A week later, Jonathan called. Said Cindy asked about me, how I was, if I was seeing anyone. He didn't tell her anything. I appreciated that because there was nothing left to say. I wasn't bitter, wasn't grieving. I was just done. The divorce was clean, uncontested. No courtroom battles, just paperwork and initials. She didn't ask for the house. Maybe she felt guilty. Yeah. Or maybe she knew I wouldn't let her have it. I started living again. Basketball league. Drinks with friends. Even met someone, Julia. Smart, chill, real, nothing heavy. Occasionally someone would say, she still talks about you. I always gave the same response. Please stop telling me what she says. I'm not listening anymore. Not out of spite, out of peace. You can't rebuild something if only one person brings bricks. Months passed, then came Michael's wedding. Friend from college. I showed up solo. Navy suit. Clean shave. Duh. Expectations. 20 minutes in, I saw her Cindy. By the bar. Holding a glass of wine, smiling at someone's joke. She looked thinner, tired, different. She saw me. Our eyes met. No. Smile. No approach. Just silence. And that was the real ending. Not the box. Not the divorce. That look across a room where both people silently agreed's over. Later that night, I stepped outside for some air. Thought about the first time we danced at a wedding, how tight she held my hand. How sure I was. Then I thought, about now, the air felt light. She was still inside. Surrounded by people, but completely out of focus. I walked down the steps. Hands in my pockets. No ache, no regret, just peace. And that was more than enough.